All right, so next problem up. First thing we do, as always, we're going to read that question first. So it says at 12 p.m., how far apart are the two hikers? All right, so primarily speaking, what we want here is, again, how far apart are these two hikers? So to get this done, I'm going to just understand the story a little more. Because it says hiker A leaves Pine Camp at 6 a.m., averaging 3 miles per hour. Hiker B leaves at 9 a.m., averaging 4 miles per hour in the same direction. At 12 p.m., how far apart are the two hikers? So it looks like we got a couple of things going on. But we have hiker A and hiker B. And one thing I know about hiker A right over here is that hiker A is traveling at 3 miles an hour. So I'll write my rate here equals 3 miles per hour. And then we see over here hiker B leaves at this time but travels at this speed, 4 miles per hour. So I'll go ahead and write that down as well. So now that we have those two rates, it's time to determine the time for each of these hikers. And then from there, what's really important is, well, what do we do with those distances once we actually calculate them individually? What are we going to do once we actually have those individual distances? And that's going to be given away right over here. Same direction. When we have objects that are moving in the same direction, what we must do to get how far apart they actually are, what we must do is we must cancel out where they actually overlap. And that is going to look like subtraction. So all we need for this is to figure out the time that each is traveling for. And so when we see that we are measuring at 12 p.m., hiker A starts at 6. From 6 a.m. to noon, that's going to be 6 hours. So I'll go ahead and write 6 hours over here. And then when we think about for hiker B, 9 a.m. to noon, that's going to be 3 hours. So now that we have the rate and the time for each of these individuals, we can calculate those distances, which distance here equals 3 times 6, and that's going to be 18 miles. Then for hiker B, we have that distance being 4 times 3, and that'll be 12 miles. So now that we have those distances individually, we'll subtract to get that final distance apart. So that'll be 18 minus 12, and that'll give us 6 miles. And there we are. Our correct final answer, my party people, is going to be C, 6 miles. So here we go, everybody. Let's crush this last problem. So first things first, always read the question sentence first, everybody. Regardless of how familiar a problem looks, the last thing we should do is assume that we know how a problem is going to go down. So here, first things first, question sentence, how far apart are they? Right there, everybody. That's what we want to stick to. How far apart are they? That's signaling a distance. A distance A to B. How many miles? That's what our answer choices say. So I'm pretty confident in that. So I'll say that again. I am looking for a distance. The distance apart. Now let's understand the story. We are talking about two cyclists, and they're traveling in opposite directions. Okay, sounds good. Let me go ahead and just highlight that in green. Opposite directions. Everybody, quick question. If we are dealing with objects moving in opposite directions, typically, what do you want to do with those rates or distances if objects are moving in opposite directions? Yeah, if we're going in opposite directions, everybody, typically we're going to be adding. Because let's say we're going, let's say 1 kilometer to the left, 2 kilometers to the right. Well, you would add the 1 plus the 2 kilometers to get that total distance of 3. Now, I want to remind you, though, everyone, that when we are adding distances, that happens in opposite directions. But the only time that we can add rates with opposite directions is when they're moving at the same exact time. Everybody, in this question here, are our cyclists moving at the exact same time? Are they moving at the exact same time? No, they're not. No, they are not. You see, Cyclist A starts first, and then Cyclist B starts 3 hours later. So when you see that, everybody, I hope you can tell that this is not a situation where we can just blindly add these rates, the 50 and the 45. No, we can't. If we do that, we're in trouble. So let's understand the situation here. Cyclist A starts first, 50 miles per hour. Okay, so right here, I'll just say that this is A and this is B. Cyclist A, 50 miles per hour. And then Cyclist B starts 3 hours later at 45 miles per hour. So I'll go ahead and say 45 miles per hour right here for B. So if we're trying to find out how far apart they are, I have the rates for each, but what I need to do is I need to find the time for each, because I'm going to find the distance by doing rate times time for B, the distance, which is rate times time for A, and once we have those, then we can add those distances. The only problem here, everybody, is making sure we perfectly understand what these hours here mean. Because look at what this sentence says first. After 6 hours from Cyclist A's start, how far apart are they? So what this tells me is Cyclist A has been going for 6 hours. That tells me clear as day. So allow me to highlight that. Again, Cyclist A will be in blue, 50 miles per hour. Cyclist A, 6 hours. So boom, I have that for Cyclist A. 50 times 6, that'll be 300 miles. So I have one piece right there. Good. Now let's find the other piece. The other piece over here on the left is, let's go ahead and see this. It says Cyclist B starts 3 hours later. So think about it like this, everybody. Let's say we're going from, 100 hours to 600 hours. Right there, that's the 6 hours for Cyclist A. However, everybody, if we start 3 hours later for Cyclist B, if we start 3 hours later, well, guess what? We're no longer starting at 100. We are starting at 300 hours. And so that's 300 to 600. So that's going to be a 3 hour time period. So from that, we've got 45 miles per hour for 3 hours. We go ahead and perform that multiplication, which we can do that right over here on screen. 45 multiplied by 3. When I show that, 5 times 3 is 15. Carry that 1. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry that 1. Gives us 135. So we'll go ahead and plug that in from here to here. 135. And there we go. All we have to do now is add these distances together. 300 miles plus 135 miles gives us a total distance of 435 miles. And there we go, everybody. That's what makes the correct answer here. Answer choice D, 435 miles. But overall, everybody, regardless of if you got that question right or wrong, I really hope that asking the reasons why continues to help you gain that confidence in the right direction.